Humans versus wild animals. It's a tale as old as time, and yet people keep forgetting just how incredibly dangerous these beasts can be. Brace yourselves for a heart-pounding journey as we take you through some of the most incredible animal encounters ever recorded on camera. A leopard's been wreaking havoc at a rainforest research institute in India as it leaps 10 feet up to cross a fence effortlessly and then proceeds to charge at its target, a tourist van. The tourists are lucky that their windows are rolled up, but the beast isn't fretting. Once it fails to catch the people in the van, it sprints away toward the village in hopes of finding its next victim. Moose are some of the most dangerously erratic animals in the wild. There's no rhyme or reason as to when one might start charging you, and these tourists in Alaska are about to experience that firsthand. It's a heart-stopping moment for this group as this massive 1,500-pound, 700-kilogram beast emerges from the bushes. They're all aware of the danger, though, sprinting away to safety and letting the moose calm down. In the depths of a Hungarian forest, an agitated bear growls and searches for its prey. The bear's clearly in distress as it tries to calm itself down in a pond. Going near it during this moment could be a death wish. And yet, some people just can't help but look for trouble. Chaos ensues when someone tries to poke the bear, awakening the anger it is hiding within. The air is filled with the sounds of whistles, screams, and gunshots as the growling bear hunts the man down. Cheetahs are often seen as ferocious beasts, but this one at a rehabilitation center has been working on its behavior and learning how to remain calm around visitors. And from the looks of it, the polite big cat is doing a great job. The cheetah walks out with its helper, and everyone is enthused to see it. After all, it's not every day you get to see such a majestic creature act so harmlessly. But it turns out the cheetah's training is not done quite yet. The big cat gets anxious seeing so many people, resorting to its primal instincts and attacking the trainer. It's a dangerous situation, but thankfully there are other helpers around to intervene. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that you probably shouldn't act smug around a wild animal, and this man's about to find out exactly why.
Hey mate, hey mate, do you know where Fort William is? Yeah, sorry to disturb your dinner.
He pulls up on a stag, trying to act funny and asking it for directions, and once the stag doesn't respond, he gets out of his car and tries to get up close with the beast. Let's just say it doesn't go well for him.
Whoa!
The stag isn't having any of his shenanigans and proceeds to attack the man, destroying his $1,800 camera lens and wounding his nose in the process. That said, he had it coming, and he definitely won't bother wild animals again.
That's a 1,400 quid bit of damage straight in my lens, scratched the front of it. That's it, 30 years of vegetarian, just came to a finish.
A bull elk as big as this one is rare in the woods, let alone next to the road. So when this majestic beast comes out and shows off its incredible antlers, people are going to stop and take photos. The elk may have wandered into civilization, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's happy to be there. If anything, these beasts can be very erratic around humans, and they don't like people getting close to them. So things could get dicey here. That's exactly what happens as the elk almost attacks the person taking photos. But even though the tourist has retreated, the beast isn't quite done with its bout of rage just yet and is about to head in to find its next target. Over in London, a man comes face to face with a raging stag that's on a mission to annihilate him. Apparently, the poor man hasn't done anything wrong to warrant this response, but of course, stags don't need much of a reason to attack people in the first place. After being chased down for a bit, the man has finally found a tree he could use to shield himself from the beast. However, it almost feels like the chase will never end, because just when the man thinks he's free, the stag returns.
Instead of the other stags.
The beast is not in any mood to leave, and the man can't hide behind the tree forever, so he has to come up with another strategy to get himself to safety before the authorities arrive.
He just shouted, "Help, help," but you couldn't go over and help him because the stag was just too hyped up. Nobody could get close to the bloke to help.
Llamas are mostly harmless, but that doesn't mean they can't be absolute menaces and annoy you in other ways. This guy, for instance, seems to be playing around with people visiting the farm, but there's more to this llama than meets the eye.
Come on. You must have us all trapped in here. They don't have to make this back. Back at him.
It goes up to each person and smells them, almost as if it's looking for something. But while everyone has been very friendly, there's one person who turns his back on the big guy, which, as he is about to find out, is a big mistake.
Derek, you made a new friend. Oh, he's messed up. He doesn't know what he's got.
Just like that, the llama declares this random dude to be his mortal enemy, attacking him over and over again while his friends watch and laugh their heads off. Kudos to the guy, though. He didn't drop his beer throughout the incident. A bunch of tourists have just spotted a Cape buffalo during their water safari. These are African buffaloes that can weigh as much as 2,000 pounds, 900 kilograms, and you definitely don't want to mess with them.
But obviously he would stop by the edge of the water. He wouldn't actually try to
I got him with the grass hanging out.
Oh, cool.
Even though the buffalo looks at them menacingly, the guide reassures them that it won't cross the water to get to them. After all, there's no reason for it to charge a random group of tourists, right? Well, famous last words.
Look at him. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Look how...
The buffalo leaps into the water and starts charging the tourist's boat. To make matters worse, the person recording acts as if it's not a big deal because surely a buffalo can't be that quick. Well, once again, they're about to eat their words.
Gosh. Oh, no. Look how fast he's going. Oh, no. Scared me to death.
And that, folks, is why you never underestimate a wild animal. In this absolutely terrifying encounter, a brown bear approaches a car on the road and stands upright like a human to peek through the window. The bear isn't fully grown, meaning its mother is probably nearby, and if there's anything we've learned over the years about mama bears, it's that they hate it when someone gets close to their cubs, meaning this driver is in real danger. The bear appears to be asking for treats. When When it doesn't get what it wants, it almost takes the side mirror off. However, this saga isn't over just yet, because this big boy is waiting on the road for his next victim. Witness the absolutely terrifying moment when a massive elephant walks onto the road and stops a bus in its tracks in Sri Lanka. The bus conductor seems to know what he's doing as he pulls out some food for the elephant. After all, you don't want to make this big guy angry. But it turns out the wild beast isn't happy with just one treat and wants more. With the conductor not having more to feed him instantly, the elephant resorts to searching the bus himself with his trunk. It's utter chaos as the poor guy tries to unpack more food to satisfy the beast, but the worst is yet to come. The elephant tries to break its way into the bus through the door and almost attacks the tourists. Everyone knows that lions are some of the most dangerous animals in the world. But that becomes even more true when you try to restrain the king of the jungle and keep it locked up in an enclosure. It hurts the lion's pride to be treated like a pet, and it's itching to have a go at someone. So as soon as the person recording walks into view, it goes berserk and breaks into a loud roar. This person would have been a goner if it weren't for the cage. Leopard seals are the third largest seal in the world, weighing as much as 1,300 pounds, 590 kilograms. But despite their seemingly friendly appearance, they can also be deadly, which is why these divers could be in real danger. These seals are also very solitary animals, and finding them can be quite tricky. So the danger of being around one of these big guys is totally worth it for the divers. It's their lucky day because the seal isn't there to hunt them. The aquatic beast is here to show off its moves, twirling and dancing in front of the camera like a true professional. Over at Kruger Park, a group of tourists find themselves in a difficult situation. They've just spotted an elephant on the trail, and the big guy doesn't seem happy about them one bit. Their lives are in danger, because even a slight erratic movement could result in an attack, meaning they can't backtrack either. Plus, even though they've got armed guides alongside them, their safety isn't guaranteed. After all, a massive beast like this doesn't go down easily. It's a standoff between the tourists and the elephant. Everyone's ready for the worst to happen, ready to hear loud gunshots and the beast's trumpet. It all kicks off as the elephant charges the tourists, but the guide's gun is enough to make the beast rethink its strategy and halt the attack for the time being. After a couple more failed attempts, the elephant is forced to retreat. Florida is notorious for harboring some dangerous wildlife. You never know when something might come out of the unknown and pounce on you, and well, this little boy who thinks he's caught a fish is about to experience that firsthand.
It's all right, buddy. Keep going.
Tired.
You got it.
Oh,
You got it.
he's gonna fight it.
As the boy reels in his big catch, a massive alligator is slowly creeping in on him as well. And right as he pulls the fish out of the water, the beast emerges and pounces on it.
I think this might have been a big one real time catcher. Ah!
Luckily, the alligator only wanted the fish, and not the boy. In the depths of the Bahamas, 86 feet underwater, a man explores the surface of the ocean, taking in the immaculate views. What he doesn't realize, however, is that there's something massive closing down on him, and his life is in danger. It's a bull shark, and it's rapidly approaching the diver. But he seems to know what he's doing as he positions himself for the attack. The shark might be massive, but it's got nothing on the guy's wits. He expertly uses his pole spear to not only stop the shark in its tracks, but to actually make it latch on. And after that, the underwater beast is too flustered to continue its attack. Back in Antarctica, another diver has found himself in the vicinity of a leopard seal, which is one of the top predators in the region. The seal is getting very up close and personal with the diver, almost as if trying to figure out if he's prey or not. He doesn't have much of a defense either, and he's hoping for the seal to show him some mercy. Thankfully, after a few pokes, the seal decides not to attack the diver and swims off to hunt for some actual food. Over in Texas, there's a police chase happening, except the officer isn't chasing a suspect, he's chasing a runaway cow. It somehow managed to escape a veterinary clinic and is now galloping through the open fields. After chasing the cow for a very long time, the officer finally manages to circle and guide it into a chain-link fence enclosure. Now, wrangling it from here should be easy, right? Well, that's what the officer thought too, and boy was he wrong. Yep, the cow does an Uno reverse on the officer and decides to charge at him full speed. And for the officer, all he can do is run for his life and watch the cow run free once again, bringing things back to square one. Great white sharks are the big baddies of the ocean, and there's a reason for that. They're absolutely massive, stretching up to 20 feet. Plus, they're deadly. And this cage diver in Mexico has just spotted one approaching from a distance. The shark's certainly not here to make any friends, as it brandishes its teeth and starts chowing down on the diver's cage. Most people would have fainted on the spot, but the diver knows what he's doing and keeps filming. To make matters worse, the great white keeps attacking the cage over and over again, and at one point it even squeezes through. In the depths of African safari, tourists are taking in the sights and looking at exotic wildlife. What they don't realize, however, is that there's danger looming right around the corner.
Move, 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 move!
They've antagonized a massive hippo and now it's charging them. Not to mention, the guides can't do anything but cling to the jeeps and yell at the drivers to go faster. Now, most people think of alligators as these terrifying beasts that can obliterate you. This Florida woman, however, is the exact opposite because there's an alligator swimming around her kayak and she's not fazed at all.
No! Go away!
Acting nonchalant doesn't make the situation any less dangerous, though, and the alligator's still trying to get close to the woman to attack her. What happens next, however, is nothing short of incredible.
Oh my God, I had to push him away with my paddle.
To make things even more bizarre, once the alligator swims away from the woman, she decides to paddle over to it for another close look.
Look how close he is to me. He came after me and tried to bite my paddleboard.
Honestly, she's either the luckiest person alive or an alligator whisperer. Over in Botswana, a man is casually taking in the views from his boat, but right as he turns to his right, he spots something truly terrifying. A massive hippo hiding underwater, ready to pounce on him.
Yes, it's there.
Believe it or not, hippos are some of the deadliest animals in the wild because not only are they quick on land, but they also move very swiftly through water. So this guy's about to get into a whole load of trouble.
Hey!
Luckily, the man knows what he's doing, paddling away and breaking the line of sight within seconds. And the hippo? Well, it disappears back into the water. He's probably praying the hippo doesn't follow him back here. Speaking of scary encounters, this hunter has just spotted a couple of inquisitive young black bears and he's climbed up into a tree to avoid them. But while that may have been a sound idea, it doesn't quite work out as planned. One of the bears climbs up the tree. But what's incredible is that the beast doesn't even realize the hunter's there. Instead, all it sees is the hunter's backpack. The bear is practically breathing on the hunter's leg at this point, ripping open his backpack and looking for food. In fact, the bear even breaks some of the hunter's equipment in the process before retreating. Watching an angry tiger sprint towards you with its massive teeth has got to be one of the most terrifying sights ever. And this team of cameramen is looking at the scene unfold right in front of their very eyes. The tiger looks like it's in distress and is sizing up the film crew for an attack. But right as it's about to pounce on them, something incredible happens. The tiger stops the attack and retreats into the woods. Wildlife expert Ivan Carter is out with his team in the Greater Kruger National Park, and he's trying to find a wounded bull elephant. But while finding it may not be difficult, the real issue is calming down the beast and helping it. This is one of the biggest elephants you'll ever see in the wild, and as soon as it spots Ivan trying to get close, it gets angry and starts charging. What happens next is nothing short of a miracle, though. The elephant recognizes Ivan and stops right before connecting with its attack.
Whew, that's impressive. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sorry to worry you, old boy.
If there's one thing that you definitely should not do after spotting a lion in the wild, it's slowing down your car and rolling down your windows. And yet that's exactly what this tourist's doing as he tries to get some footage of the majestic beast. Naturally, the king of the jungle isn't enthused to see the tourist invade its personal space. And well, we all know what's going to happen next. The lion attacks the car, trying to stop it from getting away, but that's not even the end of it, because the tourist does the same thing with a couple more lions later down the road, except that this time, the lions are much quicker. That was close. A tourist has somehow managed to find his way into gator-infested waters, and he's just spotted one the size of his canoe lurking in the distance. The gator sits patiently, waiting to pounce on its prey, and as soon as it sees the canoe pulling up, it springs into action. To make things even more heart-pounding, however, the gator never actually emerges from the water, and all these guys can do is laugh nervously about it. Over in South Africa, a leopard finds itself amongst a bunch of tourists who are all eager to take photos of the swift cat. But of course the leopard isn't happy about that one bit. What starts as a slow walk turns into a charge as the leopard positions itself to attack the people. Luckily, the camera shutter sounds sends the leopard running back into the forest. Cheetahs are inquisitive by nature and aren't always aggressive around tourists in wildlife reserves. So when this big cat shows up in Kenya, the tourists prepare themselves for the experience of a lifetime. The cheetah doesn't seem dangerous as it tries to chew on the safari vehicle. Don't let its cute mannerisms fool you, though. This beast is perfectly capable of turning these people into breakfast. The cheetah is clearly famished as it climbs the Jeep's hood and brandishes its massive teeth. Make no mistake, the tourists' lives are in danger, but as it turns out, the beast does have some mercy in it after all. What would you do if you spotted a lone rhino in the wild? Would you run or stay put? Well, this guy faces the same dilemma as he enters into a staring contest with a rhino. The rhino doesn't seem very friendly from the looks of it, and so after a minute-long standoff, it finally decides to move in and get closer to the tourist. It's the tourist's lucky day, though, because this rhino is not in a fighting mood. Otherwise, things could have gone real bad here.